This is the story of how the United States transformed from an isolationist nation into the world's most powerful military force. The mid-20th century saw the world plunged into darkness, and the United States was forced to step onto the global stage. From the shock of December 1941 to the final days of global conflict, the scale of this war was unlike anything history had ever witnessed. How did a nation desperate to avoid entanglement become the primary architect of a new world order? To understand America's entry, we must first look at the fragile state of Europe following the Great War. The Treaty of Versailles left Germany economically devastated, creating a vacuum where resentment and extremism could flourish. Adolf Hitler capitalized on economic chaos, promising a restored Germany, but his ideology of expansion threatened the global balance. When German forces invaded Poland in 1939, the promise of peace in Europe was shattered, drawing Britain and France into a new struggle. Across the Atlantic, the United States remained committed to isolationism, still reeling from the heavy toll of World War I. Congress passed the Neutrality Acts, strictly limiting the country's ability to intervene, even as the situation in Europe deteriorated. For many Americans, the priority was economic recovery from the Great Depression, not fighting battles on distant shores. The Lend-Lease Act allowed America to act as the, quote, arsenal of democracy, providing vital supplies to Britain without committing ground troops. While Europe burned, a different but equally dangerous threat was brewing in the Pacific as Japan pursued an aggressive imperial agenda. Driven by a need for resources, Japan expanded across Manchuria and Southeast Asia, clashing with Western interests in the region. In response to Japanese expansionism, the United States imposed strict oil and steel embargoes to halt their military momentum. Diplomatic efforts stalled, as neither side would back down, leading to an inevitable collision course between two rising powers. The deadlock was violently broken on the morning of December 7, 1941, in a surprise attack that would define a generation. Japanese carrier-based aircraft devastated the U.S. Pacific Fleet, marking the end of American neutrality. Overnight, public opinion shifted from isolation to total resolve, and the United States officially declared war. By declaring war on Japan, Germany and Italy reciprocated, forcing the United States to fight a two-front war. With Germany's formal declaration of war, the conflict became truly global, and the United States braced for a massive, multi-theater engagement. The nation underwent total mobilization, turning its massive industrial base into an unstoppable engine of war production. American soldiers, sailors, and airmen deployed across the globe to engage enemy forces in theaters from the Atlantic to the Pacific. The strategic landscape was complex, requiring coordinated military efforts across vast oceanic distances and European battlefields. Key victories at Midway and the Normandy landings marked turning points that shifted the momentum firmly in favor of the Allies. As Allied forces tightened the noose around the Axis powers, the immense human and strategic cost of the war became painfully clear. The collapse of the Third Reich culminated in the Battle for Berlin, leading to Germany's unconditional surrender in May 1945. In the Pacific, the conflict raged on until the deployment of atomic weaponry, finally forcing the surrender of the Japanese Empire. The conclusion of hostilities reshaped the geopolitical map, leaving the world to reconstruct itself from the rubble of total war. With the creation of the United Nations, a new era began, though it was quickly overshadowed by the onset of the Cold War. The United States emerged from World War II as a dominant global superpower, forever altering its role in the international community.